it a few different times just to kind of get a real deep color. And then kind of go in here at the bottom. CG.
As a channel member, we want to have stuff for you guys. What we plan to do, of course, have those emojis, a bonk emoji.
Yeah.
We want to do comic strips for you guys to kind of keep our characters and comics out there, keep the creative blood flowing, and just little strips, maybe monthly.
Develop notifications, sub if you haven't. We're trying to make the best content we can out here and do something more like a podcast.
Let's get out of here. I've had enough of this.
What a rush!
Hey yo, 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 hey yo. Hey yo. Hey yo. Hey yo. All right, for a minute there I thought you lost it. Whoa. Hey yo.
Let's go!
Who are those guys?
Your brothers? No.
Yes!
Beginning to get on my nerves. Who are those guys? I couldn't do that. Could you do that? How can they do that? Who are those guys?
The fucking Diaz brothers!
Connor, I know the media has a ton of questions for you, so I just want to ask you, what do you think of this turnout?
Yeah, fuck the Diaz brothers, yeah? Fuck those cockroaches!
Threats are part of wrestling, you know? But you gotta look at the person that's making the threats. This fat son of a bitch is challenging all of us, has been world champions before, been in this business 15, 20 years, and this fat son of a bitch is gonna challenge us all out.
Calm down, okay? All right?
He's fat! I'm gonna...
Out about this.
I don't care if he don't... I'll make him bleed.
Are we live?
It's Friday night, and you know what time it is. Turn your stereos up, or TVs, or however you're watching this. It's the Diaz Brothers Show, everybody. Buckle up. We're going to be talking about some comics, some X-Men, maybe some sexy X-Men, maybe some not so sexy X-Men, but put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Diaz Brothers.
Hello! There's a lot of buttons to push over here. What is up? Don't touch that dial.
Don't touch that dial. Don't touch that keyboard, everybody. We are back.
Things need more dials. We need dials back.
Knobs, like a Jack Kirby drawing.
Right.
Knobs, tubes going everywhere. What's up, everybody? Sorry for making you wait. We're a little late. We're running down the block to get over here, but we're back. It's Friday.
It's Friday.
And
how did you feel about the pace of the week? this time. You know, sometimes it flies by.
I think this was a quick week.
You think so?
I think so. But it was a busy weekend this last weekend.
Well, we had that big Wednesday, right?
Dude. Yeah, big Wednesday was crazy. Big Wednesday at work. Big work Wednesday. We did rounded it out with meeting on Wednesday as well, which was great. But first, before we get into it, how do we sound, guys?
Am I coming in clear? Hey, Mom, I said, am I coming in clear?
Thank you for being here. We already got 40 people in the chat. If you guys are in the chat and you're on Twitter or X or anything, share this out to your buddies. Get them in here. It's the start of CGIF. We are going into the weekend strong. A lot of people in the chat going to say hi to you guys. What's up? Michael Bancroft.
What's up?
What's up? I like to go hard on Hump Day 2. That's our Australian buddy from Down Under. Maybe involved in MK Ultra.
Sounds okay.
Henry Bemis, good to see you.
What's up?
Cranberry Langers, Sumo Authority is
What's
here,
up?
of course. Channel member Sumo Authority. Citizen Ronan. Phil isn't fooling anyone with that announce. It's not me.
Yeah, a lot of people think it's him.
Yeah, it's a fun fact. It's not me. Quiet Red Media is here. Shanny is here. Another Shanny, rare Shanny sighting. Dale A. He's fat.
What's up?
Good to see you, Dale. Alex VRB, the meme master.
What's
Good to
up?
see you, Alex. Scrolling up here. Scrolling. Maromi.
What's
up,
up?
Maromi? Good to see you. Hey, yo. Snarkticon DM, another sighting from Snarkticon. Scrolling up. Lieutenant Hughes is
What's
here.
up?
Awesome to see you as well. Kirby.
What's up?
Jolly Green.
Kirby.
Let's see. I think that might be Rand Nada. We are streaming live on YouTube. We're live on X, and we're live on, is this Rumble? We are live on Rumble. 2 people over on Rumble. Shout outs to the Rumblers.
Yeah. Hopefully it's those people that are running like, hey, your Rumble channel's really cool, but you need more viewers. I can help you get those viewers.
Yeah, maybe those
cost you.
No, those viewers are from those guys. They sent them over.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
So shout outs to all those Rumble people.
Comics mates here.
Yo, Dean, what's up? Good to see you.
You're
Yeah.
so bad with names. Dean, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay, Dean.
Old Dirty Fatty.
Old Dirty Fatty is here as well. So yeah,
What's
this
Old Dirty Fatty's real name?
Fatty. Thaddeus? It could be. It's like Thaddeus. But
Greek.
Should we talk about what we did this week, or you want to talk about your Drew Carey show thing?
You ruined the joke.
Joke.
You ruined the joke.
What did we do
What
this
did we
week?
do this week?
Well, should we talk about Wednesday?
Yeah, there's Big Wednesday.
You say everybody hates hearing about us
I
talking
feel
about
like
work.
they do. They hate when I talk about work.
Yeah.
You know, my big, long-winded explanations, and I drag it out.
Yeah, that makes sense. I could see
You know,
that.
for an indefinite amount of time.
Well,
Well, nobody knows when it's going to end.
Wednesday, we had big scheduled work event, which was moving around the arcade, getting big, stupid cabinet that looks like a flying saucer out of the arcade. It was a big hassle.
Right.
I mentioned this on some other streams, but 6 feet around.
Yeah. 6 feet.
Well,
Was it
6
like an
feet in
octagon?
every direction. Yeah, it was like an octagon. So we had to displace all of the cabinets that were in the way because there's only one way to get it out of the arcade, which is in the back with this hidden garage door that was covered up years ago.
This is true.
Insane. So we had to get that out. And that took forever. We got in at 7. I felt like an actual adult where we woke up early.
You did?
Yeah.
I felt like I was even smaller than I normally feel,
Uh-huh.
Because I was tired in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. So we woke up at like 7 o'clock, started moving things 7:30. We got done moving that thing. I don't know, it was actually pretty quick. I guess like 9:30 we were done moving that Galaxy Force, the big one.
Galaxy Force 2.
Galaxy Force 2. And then Undisclosed Game, which is much taller, you and I had to maneuver through a different garage.
Right.
We had to lay it on its side. And this game was so long, laying down on its side, we had to put it into a truck.
Yeah, well, that thing's got to be like almost 8 feet tall.
Yeah. Yeah, it's much taller than us. So we had the way we got it into this new truck that we have, which has a brand new lift gate on it.
Yeah.
So imagine you have this rectangle, which is a lift gate, and then a game that we had to put onto it, which was longer than the length of the lift gate. So we had to get Big Jeremiah, Big J we call him. And the idea was he was
Scott Steiner would have hated this guy. By the way.
Yeah. So we're like, your idea was, Jeremiah, you're gonna have to sit on top of this arcade game at the end of the lift gate to counterbalance the weight.
Safety.
Just for safety.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't crush
For
Brandon
our
and
safety,
Yeah.
not for his
Not for
safety.
his. Yeah. He may have gone flying off the other end. But we and then we had fourth man, Nick, which he's got some nicknames.
Yeah.
Some better than others.
Right.
But he was the lift gate operator. So he lifted up as we pushed up on the thing. And we did it. It was insane.
Yeah.
And then putting it back down, there was some communication errors.
Well, there was a bad idea, but that was from administration, and we just had to do it.
See, there's no power on Earth can move the blob.
That's the second blob reference from today.
What was the first?
It was, although he might be as fat as the blob, he's not as strong as the blob.
What was that talking about? What were we talking about then? I don't remember
in
that.
the office over there.
I might have not
recent conversation. You were there.
Oh, okay. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, so we got through that, and then our reward was meat.
Yes,
we were rewarded
big meat lunch.
Big meat lunch at Fogo, Brazilian Steakhouse, and it was good. And then we had a great gym workout after that too. At least I did.
Hit it hard.
Still feeling it.
Was great.
Leg day for me. So that was fun. Yeah, that was Wednesday. But I feel like that stuff like that makes the week fly by.
Well, previous week we had the big Wisconsin truck trip.
That was last week?
Yeah. And then this week
that
we
was
had
2 weeks
big
ago.
move.
Oh, yeah.
And so that was good.
Yeah, big move. So there's a little extra room in the arcade now.
Seagulls Rock Squawks is raw meat. You know, there's people in our group that effectively are eating this raw meat. It's so gross.
Yeah.
You go to Fogo de Chao, you know, and they have the meat swords, and then they're like cutting the meat off of it and stuff.
People like that.
It's so gross. It's so gross looking.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
They have, you know how like you go to a restaurant and there's the little levels chart, and it says like, you know, rare, and then it says what it means, and then a medium, and then the well done, and all that stuff, and it says what it means. At Wildfire, they have a level that's below rare, and it's called blue.
I feel like we've talked about this before.
And
on
it's
Hardline.
just cold raw center, and then barely seared on the outside.
It's disgusting. Henry Bemis says Big Jeremiah sounds like an Amish guy who helps you build a barn.
Yeah, he does call me English a lot. So
what is that? What do you mean?
Well,
He
that's
calls
an
you
Amish
English?
thing, yeah. It's like, that's a mighty fine bar there. Barn there. English?
Yeah, I always wondered why he called you that.
He's Amish.
Yeah, I don't think Jeremiah would help you build a barn, though, knowing him for a while. Eric Weathers is here. Good to see you, Eric. Gray Wolf Graphics. Awesome to have you in the chat. Yeah, hit that like button. Share this out. We watched, so you guys don't have to. We watched 2 episodes of the new Xmen show. I got this thing in front of my face.
Yeah.
How do I get rid of that?
What thing in front?
This little bendy thing.
Yeah.
People
Sure
don't want
is
to.
no pool English.
So you guys don't have to watch Xmen 97, or you could
if you
could
want
watch
to.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're gonna
you
be talking
could.
about that. Let's see what else is on the docket today. Oh, big last week news.
Mm-hmm. I watched the Drew Carey show.
God,
It was great. You guys remember?
Oh my
this
God. Are we getting into
in
it
the
now?
90s. Do you remember?
Can I
in the
give people an
90s?
update on this
About
book?
What?
The comic.
Nobody cares about the Lost Pages.
Oh
They
my
wanna hear about
God.
Drew Carey show. All right, go ahead and tell them about the Lost Pages. We'll get back into the Drew Carey show.
All right, put a pin in it.
The anticipation
Yeah.
rises.
We're building the pressure
as
as
the smoke rises.
Yeah. People are already saying Drew Carey show was great. Drew Carey
There
show
you go.
rocked.
There you go.
Like Cleveland
They
rocked.
want to hear about it.
All right. Well, for all you Lost Pages 3 backers, we got some backers, Brandon, in the last couple days, which is awesome. Thank you guys for backing. We obviously last week showed off the kick-ass proofs. We got proofs in. The proof, what do they say? The proof's in.
Proofs in the
The
pudding?
proofs are in. That's what they say. The proofs are in.
They have arrived.
They have arrived. So they're here, and this whole weekend, I have weekends off now, Bren, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Oh, they call me like Mr. Manager now.
Mhm.
Sometimes they call me General Manager. Other times they just call me. But I have weekends off. So what I did over the weekend, I have an editor, mysterious editor, that read the book, and we went over it scrupulously. We did a lot of editing. Adding some dialogue, changing things, making things a little more clearer. And we actually, if you guys seen the update, we added a page, which the page is done. It got done in like 3 days, colored in like 1 day, which is freaking awesome. I got the colors in this morning from our boy Eugene. He turned it around super quickly, and it looks fly as frick. All right, fly as
We just so many viewers from
no.
saying
It got fly. Yeah, take the frick back. It's fly. So it looks really good. It's already lettered, and we slid it in a spot so I didn't have to add any extra pages. And it's going to wrap everything up. It drives home the theme of it. And now we're ready for print. So Monday, I'll be Monday morning early, probably like 1 o'clock. I'll call up my British buddies over at Mix'em.
Oi.
I'll be like, oi. I think his name's Jonah. Oi, Jonah. Hey, I'll call him up, and we'll get this off to the printers, and production will start Monday, guys. Super excited about this. And yeah, it was a lot. It was like, imagine Chris Claremont yelling at Jim Shooter. That was me yelling all weekend about these edits. And we got through it. I think it's going to be a kick-ass better book than it ever could have been. And that's where we're at.
It's good.
So if you guys haven't backed, now's the time to do so. The turnaround on printing is probably like week and a half, 2.5 weeks in there.
So you were saying that they're in at the printers?
No, I didn't say that, and don't put words in my mouth. Pay attention while I speak. No, it'll be at the printers. The production's going to start on Monday.
Oh yeah, that's good.
So I'm in the process of rereading it right now, pick up any errors that the last pass has done or has caused. So
Alex VRB is saying
we'll
you're already shipping.
We're not already shipping. Don't post that on Twitter. But also, you guys remember this? We have the proofs, or actually, we have the books for the tomes.
We do have the tomes.
This is actually a proof of the tome, but I grabbed the wrong copy. But we have all the tomes ready to ship. The People 1 ash can. The reprints are ready to print, and Dan is working on the last 3 pages of tones on the second issue. So everything's coming to a head here. And the next update we do is when we have the books in hand. So thank you guys for backing it. And it's good for you because you guys get 1 more juicy page. So it's not 82 pages of story. It's 83 pages of story. But
How
still,
is that even possible?
But still 110 pages altogether because we got kick-ass.
It's going to be like one of those magazine seeds, right? Where it's just like an extra loose page in the book.
Yeah, it's a pull-out page.
Make sure you read it in order properly.
It's a pull-out page. I'd love to show you some pages, but I don't want to spoil anything.
You're under an NDA.
That's right. I mean, I guess I could show some. Here, check this out. King Lowe's.
Yeah.
Like
upper management. Here's things that upper management doesn't want you
to
see.
I'm breaking NDA right now, guys. I'm breaking it.
You can get into big trouble for this.
Yeah. So there's King Loath inside of Jasmine's mind. Freaking awesome. Ricardo killing it. And Dan Dahl also killing it. You guys like the babes. Here's some close up there. Killing it as always. So. All right. Let's get back. Let's see what people are saying in chat here. And then we'll King Loath. Colors look great. Yeah, the color, especially on the covers. The cover colors are insane.
Yeah, they're the most. I mean, they're on the order of Magic Cop. Their color vibrancy and stuff. It's still, while having such dark tones to it, the contrast and the vibrancy is insane.
Perfect.
They said it couldn't be done. that you can't print RGB.
Yeah, this is what Michael
But let me
Bancroft
tell you
told
something.
me.
If this was in CYMK, you're not getting colors like this.
That's right. Yeah, we print in 2024.
Yeah.
You know,
You remember when Bancroft was talking about the People ash can with the white ink and how fantastic that looked and stuff?
Yeah.
When he receives these,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to be saddened that his book is not an RGB.
You might go colorblind after this. 110 pages. Lost Pages 3 is 110 pages in total, including back matter like biographies in the back and concept art. We
That
got
includes 4 pages of the phone book, though. Just to fill it up.
yeah, there's some filler in there. Shelby is here. What's up, Shelby, my boy? He did the amazing back cover to the Bisley edition.
Yeah,
kick ass. Oh yeah, and then we also have to get some printed so Simon could sign some. So we got to do lots of printing going on this weekend. Wait, the tome shipped? No, they printed. The tome's printed. Everything will ship at the same time. I'm ready to start that page. Page is done already, Shelby. Or it's a bit crim in it. That's what I'm going to be telling him this weekend. All right, Brandon. I think, Eric was upset about my language. So let's move on.
Yeah, we are moving on. I started off.
Links in the
this was a
description.
couple of weeks ago, though. I saw a post on Twitter. As you do, right? You're scrolling Twitter because you have nothing else to do. Half your brain is dead. So there's a post, and it's this really low res picture of Drew Carey and then the character Mimi sitting in
I had this bookmarked.
Batmobile.
I had this bookmarked and I unbookmarked it today.
Why? Why did you do it?
I unbookmarked it today.
Why did you do
to
it?
clear out my bookmarks, man.
Yeah, because your bookmarks are so oversaturated.
They are.
Low res picture of Drew Carey and Mimi sitting in the Batmobile. Was it the Batman Forever Batmobile?
Yeah,
it
was.
And I had just watched Batman Forever. You remember when I was talking about how Batman Forever is not that bad of a movie? It's actually a really good movie. This was when that happened. This was a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh. And then so I read the caption, and the caption is like, this is what they're keeping from you guys. There is no high resolution, publicly available photo of Drew Carey and Mimi Bobek sitting in the Batmobile from the episode Drew Wins the Batmobile.
That's what people are thinking about?
Yes. And I'm like, damn, is that true? Like, I haven't watched Drew Carey's show in a long time because that was funny. I was young when it was on.
We used to watch it when we were young.
Aired at first. So I'm scrolling through the comments, because sometimes people are in there debunking what the first guy said.
95,
mid 90s.
To 2004?
Yeah, there's 10 seasons, I think. 9 at least. So I go in there.
What?
And then they're
That's
like,
crazy.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's true. And then this guy's like, there is a guy on the internet somewhere, and he's archived all the Drew Carey episodes, and he put them into a Google Drive. And he's got like this web page where it's like really well done with icons.
You have to
click
hack
on
into the
No,
thing.
you just click on the seasons, and it takes you to a Google Drive, and you could watch them.
It's badass.
And so, so I started watching the show, and a couple episodes are pretty dry. The first ones, everybody's getting their pacing and stuff. And so I had a couple of thoughts about it. And then I just got to a particular episode, which was like, man, nostalgia factor, right?
Yeah.
One thing that I thought was really, really funny, and I don't know how everybody's going to take this, here in Chicago, everybody's pretty fat, and so like watching Drew Carey in 1995 is the first season. And they're making fun of how fat this guy is, and he's self-deprecating humor, and he's so fat and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, this guy's really not that fat. Like, if you brought that guy now, he'd just be like an average guy.
Let's see. Let me look up a picture of this guy.
And like, I think as the seasons go on, maybe he gets fatter. But like, look, yeah,
this is a
like
good example.
Season 2, because they put Mr. Wick in here, and I'm like, this guy's really not that fat. He's just kind of like an average guy now. I just thought that was funny. And
That's true. Yeah, he's not that fat.
He's not that fat. And he's like eating donuts, and they're like, he's got a drawer full of Snickers bars and stuff.
Yeah, he's always got his candy.
Right.
On his
And
desk.
it's like, that's comedically fat in 1995.
I feel like we used to watch this show all the time. and I forgot so much about it. But when you were describing this episode, I'm like, dude, I know exactly what episode that is.
Right. And so we get to this part, and I'm watching it with the girlfriend, and she's a little bit younger than me, so she wasn't around cognitively while this was on, so she kind of watched it off and on.
That makes sense because I'm younger than her.
Right. But like you were with me, and so when we were watching it as reruns and stuff,
we would do that. We would do that like Navi thing where we connect our brains together, and then I would suck.
Do you have a better suggested way
Right.
of how we were to exchange long protein strings? I don't think so.
Yeah, that's true.
So we get to this episode in season 2, and guy walks in and he's got like this 20-foot hoagie, and then he's like, Drew's like, hey man, what are you doing with that? And he's like, oh, you want some of this? He's like, yeah, come over here with that. He's like, you want to take a bite? And he's going like at the screen with it. She's like, what the hell is going on? And it changes like to this POV shot. She's like, what is going on with this camera? Like, oh my God, this is the shit. It was the 3D episode. And she was not there for the 3D episode. And I was like explaining to her, I'm like, there was this special day where this special event happened, and it was like a TGIF type of thing. I don't remember if it was called TGIF, but it was like Home Improvement, Third Rock from the Sun, the Drew Carey Show, and a couple of other shows where you had to go to the store and you would buy this soda, and they'd have 3D glasses in there. And then they would have like little icons in the corner where it would be like, all right, put on the 3D glasses now. And then they'd go with the sandwich, or it'd be Lewis and Oswald with these little puppets. She's like, what?
So
and
good.
I'm just like, you'd have to be
remember
there.
those.
You have to be there for it, because like, especially the Third Rock from the Sun episode had this like crazy depth of field 3D going on. It was a different pair of glasses, I remember. And it was just such a different time in television, right?
Yeah.
And then, so the episode's going on, and there's this part where Mr. Wick, Craig Ferguson's character, is like telling him some stuff, and he's grossing out Drew. And Drew's like, oh man, I think I ate too much whatever earlier. And he's like, I'm not feeling too good. And it cuts to this POV shot of him. And I'm certain at the time it would have said, put your 3D glasses on now.
Yeah.
And you would have put them on, and he's like, my stomach. And I'm laughing my ass off, and she's not laughing that much at this scene. And like, you don't get how funny this joke is, because this joke works when you have to put your 3D glasses on,
right,
and you're waiting for this guy to throw up at the screen. And then he's like, actually, I'm feeling kind of better now. And he doesn't do it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I'm like telling her about this and how funny it was, and like how nostalgic it was. And then I thought I remembered something from like a couple years ago, and some guy on Twitter was looking for that episode in 3D with the 3D filters.
Yeah.
And he couldn't find it. And so I'm like, I wonder if that's actually out there still, because this guy doesn't have it.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That would be crazy to see, because you could go get those 3D glasses still, the red and the blue, because that's how it was. It was
yeah,
just
I have some.
Red and blue. Oh, you have some?
Yeah, I have some, because
that would be funny to watch in there.
Eric Powell, the creator of The Goon, he did that Hellbilly book that I love, and he did an issue that was part of it was in 3D, and I picked some up from his booth at a convention.
Cranberry Langer says, oh, I have that episode with 3D glasses, Harry's Dream. So they must be talking about Third Rock from the Sun.
Oh, yeah.
They were different glasses, right? They were Barks root beer glasses, if I remember correctly, with a green and a brown lens, if I remember right.
That's crazy.
The other ones were just blue and red.
Dude, I remember the Home Improvement one, and they would do the 2x4.
Right.
And it was like they were doing a 3D episode of their Home Improvement TV show as they filmed it, and they did the 2x4 coming at you.
And it was all super cheesy, right? Except for the Third Rock from the Sun episode had like some weird scenarios in it. Even the Drew Carey one had a scene where it was towards the end of the episode, and they were like, hey, Drew, look I got this bubble wand and I'm looking at these bubbles. And then Oswald's like, hey, let me try and pop it with this noisemaker. And he had the thing where like you blow air in it and it shoots out. And then Drew had a Nerf gun. And he's like, I'll try to pop it with this Nerf gun. And it was so lame.
Yeah. I'm sure that all that stuff was just left up to them to write in the writer's room for the sitcom. That's hilarious. What's up, Admiral Wackass? Good to see you. Yeah, Bancroft, they didn't have these shows in Australia. All right.
Well, yeah, it was a network event.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Yeah, I like, like they're saying here, who's saying this? I'm saying Futurama had 2 quick 3D segments in one episode. I don't remember that. Somebody else was telling me, Nick over here was telling me about how some other shows like on the Disney Channel did that and stuff. But I just remember this being an event, right? In like, it would have been 1996, right? And you had to go to the store or like to Wendy's or something and get the glasses and like
so cool.
Be there and make sure, because you couldn't watch these clips on the internet. You had to be there to watch them that night. And you just don't have that anymore.
Third Rock of the Sun was NBC, Drew is ABC.
That's probably why they had the 2 different glasses.
Oh, okay.
Things. Yeah.
People are saying Bancroft is from an alternate universe.
That explains
where Sinbad wasn't a genie.
Oh, where Sinbad wasn't a genie? That makes a lot of sense.
Drew Carey show, watch it. It's funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious. There's a guy who's archiving them. They're all up just on this Google Drive. You could just watch them free on the internet.
Oh, I thought you said there is a guy who's a transvestite on the show.
Dude, there's transvestite jokes in that show are every episode.
I know. This is something distinctly I remember. So Drew's brother is a transvestite.
He doesn't show up for a number of seasons, but like,
is he even in the show yet? Where you're at this point?
No, I've just finished season 2.
He's not in the Rocky Horror episode.
No, he's not.
Wow,
he's not in there.
That's crazy.
There's
so there even
constant jokes about like, oh yeah, Laura down in lingerie, sometimes she comes in with some stubble. It's a guy, and like they'll go and be like, hey, that girl down in lingerie, Laura? Yeah, she's been eyeballing you. And like they'll go down there and be like, yeah, I got Laura's number and stuff.
That's so weird. I wonder what was going on in the zeitgeist to have a dense amount of those jokes in that show.
I don't know. There was another very, very clear, like, that's a transvestite. They're all like driving together in Oswald's delivery van to do a carpool. And then they send Mr. Wick out to do something where he gets chased by dogs. And then Oswald's like, all right, Drew, you go to this next house. What's wrong with that one? Nothing. It's totally fine. So he goes over there and they're like, yeah, what's wrong with that one? He's like, you see that hot chick over there with the red lipstick?
Uh-huh.
It's a guy, and he's very affectionate. And Drew comes back and he's all covered in kisses and stuff. And he's like, man, Oswald, thanks for sending me over there.
That's hilarious. We got Pablo Romero in the chat. Good to see you. Neff is here as well. Good to see you, Neff. Thanks for hanging out. We'll be talking about X-Men in a little bit. But yeah, we're talking about the Drew Carey show now.
Ellie's saying that is edgy at the time. I don't even know if it was edgy. I think it was just funny.
Yeah. Well, you were telling, like, a big standout episode to me was the Rocky Horror episode, which I didn't know anything about when I was a kid. I only knew the song from that episode because they break out in Time Warp dance at the end of it. But yeah, you were saying everybody is like dressed up as Professor Frankenfurter.
No. They're all dressed up as Oswald dressed up as Professor Frankenfurter, and then
just the other chicks.
Priscilla, Queen of the Desert one. That side was all transvestites.
Yeah,
it was just all guys in drag right?
Yeah.
And except for Mimi, and then they make a joke about her, and they're like, "Mimi, you're a transvestite."
Yeah,
and she's all, but yeah, like
she's always
all
in drag.
Kinds of characters from
that makeup
from the Office and stuff that were there. They were all dressed in drag while they were dancing around in like this very RuPaul-esque drag, like flowery, peacocky type thing.
Yeah, it's a good show. I'd like to rewatch it. Stat is here. What's up, Stat? Good to see you.
It's definitely
venturing out of the
comedy
nest.
Where there's some comedies like I'm watching The Simpsons or whatever, and you like it's a funny joke and you get like that humor and you're like, man, that's pretty funny. but there's a lot of laughing out loud comedy for me in the Drew Carey Show. Yeah. And it's a sitcom. So you have that canned laughter, which a lot of times feels forced. But in that show, they're reacting to the jokes as if it was the first time that they've heard those jokes from the other actor.
Yeah.
And that really is selling the thing. Or like even when Drew comes back with his zingers towards Mimi and she'll be like that, a person like that would be like, oh, you got me. That was a good one.
Yeah. Married with Children is king.
Married with Children, very, very funny.
I feel like there's a difference in types of sitcoms where Drew Carey, I don't know this for a fact, but I imagine a lot of the actors on there were also writers, like in the writer room, because all those guys are big improv guys or comics.
I mean, they could have been improvising a lot of those jokes, because there's times where like they're just doing something very casually and just kind of like making up some stupid joke. And Drew is like sitting there laughing and being like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
But like you look at something more modern, like Big Bang Theory.
Oh my God.
Those guys are just actors that are reading a script that a writer wrote for them.
A lot of times I don't think that they're understanding the joke that they're saying, right? There's a very like, oh, man, I don't have the clip and I don't really care to find it because I hate Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
But there's a clip of, let's see how funny Big Bang Theory really is. And they dub out the laughter and they'll be like one-liners at each other. And then they're all just sitting there when normally the laughter would be going on. And it's just silence for like 2 seconds. And they're not reacting to anything.
Look at this. Michael Bancroft,
Married with Children is a bit nihilistic for me.
Is this guy like anything good?
Yeah.
God.
It's a cultural difference.
Yeah.
You know, they're a little upside down there, I'd say.
This is a new idea. The Drew Carey shows the new seed oils to talk about. We'll have to talk about that more.
I don't know, but I could see where, the mid 90s was really that big turn up for the seed oil. They really cranked
dumped
up
it
the
up.
seed oil.
Yeah,
and
and sitcoms went downhill afterwards.
What I'm saying is like Drew being like this comedically fat guy in 1995, where by today's standards, he's not really a fat guy. He's just an average guy.
Right.
And he gains weight over the seasons, right? I mean, if that guy was really eating 12 Snickers bars or like 3 donuts for breakfast every morning and he was only that fat, like what the hell's going on now?
Yeah, he's already dead now.
Well,
he's
he
still
lost
eating
a bunch of weight.
Yeah, that's true. He looks good.
But that show really, really is an eye opener towards the problems with seed oils, I'd say.
But yeah, you look at like Roseanne. You had a lot of the actors in the writers' room. Norm Macdonald was writing for Roseanne at one point for some of the early seasons. Yeah, I feel like you don't get that anymore, especially with trash shows like Big Bang Theory. Yeah, so I mean, I'll have to watch that. Right now, I'm not really watching anything.
You're not watching anything? I'll send you the link. Dude, they took Miami Vice off of free on Amazon, right? Did you?
I haven't checked. It was on. We were watching on Tubi, I think.
Yeah, but I think it was just
or Freevee.
But Freevee is an Amazon thing, so it's not on Freevee anymore. You have
to
rent that.
Yeah, I was watching Miami Vice, and then I started Deadwood, and I got a DVD that was scratched, so I couldn't finish Deadwood. Deadwood was pretty good. And then I'm not really watching anything now. We started watching the first round of when we went to the printer for like pre-press stuff, we started watching the original Xmen animated series again, which is awesome. And we got up to like the Days of Future Past part, or Age of Apocalypse stuff. And then I started reading Chris Claremont's Xmen, which I just read 104. There's a thing. Maybe we should save this for Monday, where I talk about the X-Men issues I'm reading. The X-Men go to Ireland. We talked about this on Monday. Moira doesn't go to Ireland. She's hanging out with Professor X or whatever.
Isn't she Irish?
I think she's Scottish.
Oh.
She might be Irish. I don't know. But they go to Ireland to Banshee's castle. Juggernaut and Black Tom Cassidy are there. Banshee gets captured. Nightcrawler gets knocked out, but he's saved. Who's he get saved by? Just take a guess.
Nightcrawler gets knocked out.
He gets knocked out and he's laying on the ground. And this is where you, for some reason, find out that Nightcrawler can turn invisible when he's in the shadows.
I never knew that.
No one ever knew that.
Yeah.
I faintly remember that from the big DK books, big X-Men books. Anyways, he's knocked out. Who's he get saved by?
In Ireland?
No, leprechauns. He gets saved by leprechauns.
Mega Man knows.
And they're not explained. And they just, the issue end, like they're in 2 issues.
Oh, this is in the comic.
Yeah, it's in the comics. The issue ends, the subsequent issue ends, and there's no explanation for these leprechauns. And then they leave Ireland, I think. I'm not on the next issue yet, but yeah, really weird.
This is like the jockey episode of The Simpsons where all the jockeys were
little
leprechauns
elves,
or something. Elves living in a fiberglass tree.
Yeah, fiberglass tree. Yeah, it was basically like that. And then they explain to Nightcrawler that he has this ability to turn invisible when he's in dark places.
They explain that to him?
They're like, you were half invisible when we found you. And he's like, what? What do you mean by that? He's like, yeah, you were in the parts of you that were in the shadows. He's like, that's never. It's like, there's only one way to find out. And he puts his arm in his shadow and it vanishes.
Are you sure that wasn't just the leprechauns not being able to see in the dark?
No, that he uses it later. But I guess Claremont was really trying to get his footing in the first 10 issues he wrote, huh?
Hear me out. Leprechauns.
Shooter was on vacation that month. Yeah, I could see that.
I want the gold. Give me the gold. I want the gold.
So there you go. How much time we got left on here? Okay, we can get into, speaking of X-Men, we can get into.
Do we have a guest today?
No, we have no guest. I forgot to go to guest.
No, that's good.
We got no guest today. I did hit up someone, but he didn't get back to me.
Night blind leprechauns.
Let's see. Actually, let me see if that person got back to me about being a guest. No, he did not. So no guest this week. My bad. I forgot to book someone. Michael Disha is here. Gordon Goodbrother. Great comment. Good to have you in the chat here. And Creators Outlet as well. We already have 90 people in the chat, 58 on Twitter. Thank you for being here.
So many people.
7 over on Rumble.
Wow.
What's up, everybody on Rumble?
That's a record, I think.
Yeah. So I don't have access to Disney Plus. But that's where they have the new X-Men series.
Right.
I looked up because I'm like, oh, we can't I can't watch X-Men at home. Maybe I'll see if I could find X-Men Evolution anywhere. But they had.
You want to watch that?
X-Men Evolution was fine.
What was that live action show with the
had nothing to do with X-Men?
Right, it had nothing to do with X-Men.
Wasn't it Generation X? Does anybody remember this? This was like CW before CW existed. It was just WB.
Right. The show was decent.
It was a decent show. Pretty sure it was called Generation X live action.
It was called Generation X.
Green X?
Gen X?
Gen X? Live action. It had like a middle-aged man who was
Mutant
the scientist.
X is what it was.
It was not. No, it was Mutant X.
Dude,
Marvel let them use.
I don't know.
The term
I don't remember
mutant?
it being called Generation
Let's
X.
see. Mutant.
It might not be Mutant X. Generation X, though. It was an X book. I'm pretty sure it was X-Men adjacent.
Mutant X. Is this it?
Yeah, dude, it is Mutant X. It's got to be.
Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. It's got this guy in it. Let's pull this up here. Is there a trailer?
What guy?
This guy. I remember this guy had electricity powers.
Yeah, I remember the guy with the electricity powers.
This chick, what could the chick do? I don't remember. I remember her, but I don't remember what she could do. This guy could turn to stone. He was like that
it had skin and husk in it.
No, was
That's
this
what
actually
Landers is saying, and it was awesome.
It was dope, but back then
it was one season.
I was a kid and I didn't know when it aired, so I'd only catch it sometimes.
Right.
And so that's like
2001.
I'd watch this. Yeah, this guy had the electricity powers.
Right.
This guy was like an electric like orchestra song, so he would turn to stone.
Turn to stone, yeah.
Right. But on the caveat of when he was turning to stone or using powers, he could turn to stone or phase through things.
Okay.
He'd have to hold his breath. So that was his weakness. So
I feel like you could train yourself to hold your breath for a long time.
definitely. I don't remember the chick's powers at all. Wow. So was this
hot.
sponsored by Marvel? Was this a Marvel production?
Oh, why don't you scroll down and see what the wiki says about it or something?
This is IMDb. I don't remember this guy in the white hair, but this was the leader guy. John Shee.
John Shee.
I remember an episode where he turned to evil and he knew all their weaknesses because he was the leader, and he just waited for that guy to take a breath, and then he like punched him in the face or something like that.
She had a diamond form. Cranberry Langer's saying.
Really? I feel like that's like the other dude.
I might have to watch this. I'm sure that the CGI is going to be absolute trash.
Yeah,
because it was trashed by.
But it was cool because this guy was like Raiden, right? He had the electricity, like Raiden.
Electricity powers. Like
I remember.
electricity.
I'm gonna go off my memory here, but I think this guy's name was Jordan, the character. Let me see. You see a Jordan?
I see Jesse.
No.
Brennan.
No. Oh, these are the character names. Jesse? Maybe it was Jesse. My bad. It's another female name. Anyways, what were we talking about this for?
I just remember
brought
this
it up.
being a thing from a long time ago. You know, watching the Drew Carey show.
Yeah, it probably
brought me
aired at
back
the
in
same time. No, this is 2001.
Apparently, it only had one season. But wait, why does it say
It says
2001, 2004?
Does it say one season? Oh, look, season 2.
Well, look, there's more than one season.
Yeah, there's more than one. They probably tried to bring it back or something.
Brennan is the most American name ever. Let me tell you something.
I remember his name
Bancroft.
being Brennan
There's
because it's kind of like
nobody named
Brandon.
Brennan. I've never
American
met anybody
name?
named Brennan.
No, that's not true.
Brennan?
Yeah, isn't Brennan Ma's friend's son's name?
I thought it was Brendan.
Oh, yeah, it might be Brendan.
Alex Europe, I've never met anyone named Brennan. Right. I'm pretty sure they made that name up for the show.
Duck in the chat. Yeah, so everybody, Neil Brennan is a last name.
Right.
Mutant X
Brennan
might be worth
sounds
watching.
very British. That makes sense.
Anyways, yeah, I looked up X-Men Evolution.
Yeah.
And it's on Disney Plus. All the X-Men shows, Wolverine and the X-Men, which is only one
episode
season of, I think Chad Townsend did some work on that.
It sounds about
Wolverine and the X-Men. Yeah. Then they had something else, which had White Queen in it. It was another short-lived X-Men show. But yeah, I don't have Disney Plus. So we were watching it a couple weeks ago and we're like, hey, new X-Men. We grew up on it. I love. We could quote the first episode, Night of the Sentinels, both parts, front to back. So good. And yesterday, someone, Jake mentioned the word apprehension, and I'm like, apprehension. And the only reason I know what that word means is because Gambit taught it to me. In this clip here, which we'll roll back a little bit. So this is intro to our segment here. See if this is all the way up.
Stand aside. I must apprehend that mutant.
Hey, apprehend this.
How did you?
Perfect.
Oh, we should have said with style, petite. With
style.
Is
this it? Yeah, this is the part too.
How did you do that?
With style, petit.
With style.
I'm out of here.
Wait.
Are we just gonna watch this?
I'm a mutant too.
Gambit will help you. I'm a mutant too.
Yeah, I got this. This whole thing wrapped up.
The most turned into some creepy for real video game. Please, oh please, oh please.
Pause it here.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. So we watched the first episodes. Watched the first episode yesterday. Finished the second episode today.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of speculation going into this. And what'd you think?
What did I think?
Yeah.
From the clips that I had seen on Twitter, there was like some things that were animated poorly or like low frame rate or like that. And it's easy to look at them when they're in that vacuum of that small clip, right? It's like a 1 minute clip of the fight scene or whatever, and then you could dissect it. You know, when you're watching the show, it's really not so bad because you're not like scrubbing through it looking for problems. But like them standing there breathing, and it's just like their frames doing this, and they're not really animated.
Yeah, some cut. I mean,
You know,
there's
there's
some cost or whatever.
I don't know what they're doing. It's just the way that they're doing the animations now. And then like there's some things where like certain characters are over animated. Like I feel like Jubilee's face is rotoscoped off of somebody's real face.
Yeah.
And then like there's other characters is like, yeah, there's almost no detail on that guy's face, and he's just like they just have his mouth opening and closing when he's talking. I mean, I don't hate it, you know. There's one thing that I do hate, and it's obviously the lack of hot chicks, you know, because it being a big part of cartoons when I was growing up, you know, and you have things forming your opinions about stuff. You know, like Rogue, obviously super hot, always one of my favorite characters. And, you know, Rogue is, in my opinion, almost required to be like insanely hot, right? Because she's got to be this crazy, unobtainable, super hot chick that you can't touch.
Right. That's the irony.
That's the irony.
The built-in irony of that
like,
character.
Holy crap. She's irresistible, but you can't touch her, right? Because she's just too hot. That's like that thing. And now you go to like what it is now, and it's like, you got that. And every time I see it, they're like, why don't you just describe it as like a 2x4? It's like, no, man, it's a taco shell, and then you turn it like this, and that's her ass now. That's all it looks like. You know what I'm talking about?
Taco shell
on it, and you're looking at it from the side.
Oh, I see. Like a hard shell.
It's a hard
shell taco.
That's all I'm seeing.
The flat side of a hard shell taco.
Right, it's the flat side of a hard shell taco.
But I saw
and isn't that Rogue? I'm not Rogue. A Storm in the purple. Isn't that Storm?
It might be Storm. Oh yeah, it is Storm.
It's Storm, dude.
Yeah, Storm, African goddess.
Right. What is happening here?
Where's that fertility body?
And then with this
tome.
With this, it's like, look, all right, you're gonna de-sexy the characters.
Yeah.
Fine, do it. You know, I'm not in charge of the show. Right?
Yeah.
But then you have
hold on, I'll pull them
the other side of the coin.
Yeah, because people that haven't watched the show probably haven't seen this. Let me see if I could.
How are you gonna find this?
It's literally right here.
Oh my god!
It's literally right here. I found it in 2 seconds.
Is that non? No, man. Old Rogue was non. This is a hard shell taco that you bought out of the freezer section at your local grocery store. This is not a non that's come straight out of the tandoor oven. What's the problem here?
I'm trying to. The problem is, here we go. I got it.
I see.
The first image I showed didn't show off nearly enough as we saw in the show. So yeah, you got this.
Is it Cyclops in a Speedo? It's not Cyclops in a Speedo.
It's the Raging Cajun. First off, his hair is out of control.
It's out of control. This is beyond Phil levels of hair being out of control.
Right. So Gambit, when he was out of costume, you know, he usually is in a ponytail. He has his hair in a ponytail. Or if he's playing basketball, he's got a bandana on over the top of his hair, ponytail still. And I'll give I'll cut him a little slack because in the basketball Jim Lee scenes,
right, we're not sharing it yet.
We're not sharing it
because there's a lead up.
In the basketball Jim Lee scenes, Gambit does wear a 90s half shirt, the male crop top.
Apparently, this was a big trend
in the 90s. Yeah, I don't remember this, but this
in 1997.
This is him in the kitchen
now
making beignets.
Is he making beignets?
Yeah, because he's Cajun. It's a French delicacy.
Yeah, beignets are French.
But he's got anime hair going on. This is like a Kira Toriyama
and he's
shit.
Like not just standing in the kitchen. He's like leaning on the counter, all sexy, and his torso is all like twisted and like a sexy pose and stuff. And I'm like, Phil, what is going on with this guy here? And he's cut.
What's
like he's got the V cut.
What's up with his necklace? It's like wrapped around
Double
his
wrapped around
throat
his neck.
and
Yeah,
then
it's a choker.
necklace
It's
going
a
on.
choker necklace. He's got his gloves on.
Yeah,
He
I don't
lives
know about
by the saying you're not hardcore
unless you live hardcore. Yeah. I think the hair is way overdone in this scene. Like it's not even like this when he has he's in a costume.
Right. It looks excessively long.
It's pretty. It's like hair metal.
Right. It's very 80s. Yeah, I think that
which is
the
weird.
writers don't know that there's a second decade called the 80s. And
Yeah.
this was 1997, which was pretty late into the 90s.
Right. Yeah.
He's trying to do
the Misfit
Gem from the
chicks.
Misfits.
Yeah, the evil chicks from Gem.
Yeah. The Misfits from Gem. Yeah. And then there's a scene later where they're like playing basketball and they're whoever's like, all right, nobody's using any of their powers during this game. And then Gambit comes out and he's like, what if Gambit uses his other power? And he takes his shirt off and he's just running around shirtless. And he's all...
But he's got the bandana on.
One of those
and that
Guy
was cool.
Foxes.
Yeah, he is one of those
know?
Guy Foxes.
And it's like, all right, Guy Foxes, where are the lady foxes?
I relate. I can relate to Gambit being a Guy Fox.
Yeah, that's fine. We could have Guy Foxes, but you got to have the hot chicks too.
Yeah, I agree. But to be fair, when we watch the old X-Men episodes, there were shots of Rogue where she wasn't super big ass.
Right, but here, and my explanation here for
there's
the
no balance.
Is no, it's not that there's no balance. It's like, look, if she's 100 miles from the camera, you don't have to draw the perfect peach butt, right? Like just right here in the image that we showed, it's front row of the scene right there, focal point of the shot.
There was
and it's they did it on purpose to be like, look,
this is what you get.
This is what we've done. We're doing it on purpose. That's why you would do it like that. There's no other reason why that shot did not need to be in there, except for the fact that they are going, look, we've taken her and given her prepubescent boy body, at least from behind, because sometimes she does have breasts.
There was, on the contrary to what we're saying here, there was someone complaining on Twitter of Rogue flying, like when
Isn't it in that clipped up image that you had shown before, that scene?
Oh, it might be. Yeah, let me see here. There was someone complaining about no, it's not about Rogue flying too close. Or she flies too close to the camera.
Right, she like flies from behind the camera and then toward
in the foreground. So she's super big in the foreground, and then you see like her crotch and thighs.
Right.
In the
if you could
meeting
call
of
it
that,
it's like a slim font of the letter Y
sure.
over a yellow background.
And someone, I don't know if they were being serious or joking, but outraged of how overly sexualized Rogue is.
I think Anna was like, "Are you serious right now?"
Yeah. So, it takes all kinds.
But the rest of the show is seemingly fine. Like a lot of the voice actors are back.
That was kind of a gripe for me because the voice actors are so iconic. I mean, to us, diehard fans of the show, the ones that are back, and I don't know which ones are totally back. I think it's Wolverine is back. I don't think Cyclops is the same. I think maybe Storm might be.
Yeah.
But Wolverine, when I first started watching episode 1, like Wolverine sounds old.
Mm-hmm.
Rogue sounds old and not as southern.
Right, she's not doing the accent.
Yeah, not as southern as you think.
Ever doing the accent.
The best.
Wolverine's voice sucks. Admiral Wackass is saying Cyclops passed away. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Cyclops died a long time ago.
Magneto's
like not even the same Magneto character.
Yeah, Magneto, he's kind of mimicking the original guy because he has a pretty distinct voice as well. It might be the same Beast. It's definitely not the same Morph.
Yeah,
Morph voice.
He's trying to do the laughing.
The only thing he's trying to do is the laugh, but now he has this very, very foppish voice, Morph, when he was pretty distinct in the original series. The best voice actor that
Don is saying thought they sound fine. Voice actor for Cyclops died.
Yeah.
Cyclops died in his sleep. I didn't even know he was sick.
Yeah, I didn't know he was sick either. This is the voice actors suck. No, here the best voice actor was in episode 1 was Gyrick. Dude, Gyrick. It's got to be the same one because he sounds exactly the same. If it's not,
he doesn't
crazy.
have a lot of Fry. He doesn't have as much Fry in his voice this time.
Yeah. But it sounds great, and it's like,
immediately.
dude, Gyrick. And if you guys
Trouble at the Agents.
remember the Night of the Sentinels, you remember Gyrick.
He always had problems with Trask.
Yeah, he's always up Trask, driving him. This, but the episode 1 was cool. I really liked the. I mean, let's spoil it. They're doing the Inferno series, and they're doing Mohawk Storm. Which Mohawk Storm, she loses her powers, and I thought that moment was really cool, and that they're going to go through there. We got Jean Grey's having a kid. And there's a spoiler about that. I guess we don't have to talk about that. But I saw this.
Do you think that they're going to do the whole arc where Cyclops leaves and then Storm becomes powerless leader of the X-Men?
I don't know. Well, there's been action figures of MODOK, Goblin Queen, which is Madeline Pryor, who's fake Jean Grey. So they're probably going to do that.
Nate. What was the kid's name? The kid was born.
Nate. That's Cable.
Nathaniel.
Yeah,
right?
Nathaniel. Right. That's Cable, right? Pretty sure that's Cable.
Nate Summers. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Who's voice actor died too? Damn.
Oh, Apocalypse was so good. Yeah, Apocalypse was so good. But I saw this. Here's a little spoiler for you guys. He has your eyes, and then it's Geordi, which Bishop is in the show. So we think it's actually Bishop's son.
Oh,
it's
yeah, that's true.
Switch
there was a lot of
there.
tension in the X-Men.
Yeah, there's a lot of
first and second episode.
A lot of tension.
He didn't. They literally, Jean Grey's like, "Oh, Scott, he has your eyes," and then Cyclops says something stupid, and then I was like, he should have said, "I hope not."
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say,
I hope not.
He said something like, "Yeah,
I missed that part."
Or something. How is this spoilers? There's a kid in the trailer.
She's pregnant in the trailers.
Right, she's holding her belly.
So I think
every pregnant woman.
I don't think she's gonna stay pregnant for 10 episodes. Yeah. There you go. And I think they're flip flopping how they're releasing the episodes. So like next week is gonna be 1. The week after that, it's 2. They put up like a schedule of how they're doing it.
Don says, "Fucking Bishop with the brothers speak." I didn't hear Bishop say 2 lines in that whole 2 episodes.
No, he spoke the first time we saw them in action at that little like the guys that were using Sentinel arms as guns,
right?
During
yeah,
and then he spoke like 2 things. He's weird that he's there. He's kind of like the token character right now.
Everybody looks younger,
and then everybody sounds older as well.
Yeah, they all look like they were just the lack of adult features on everybody, even being like the woman-esque bodies and just that stuff. Like it makes everybody look younger.
Yeah.
Which is for the worse, I think. There is one cool thing that I do like in the animation, which is they brought back something that I don't see a lot in today's animation stuff. And, I don't watch anime and stuff like that, so I don't know. But they brought back I don't know if you have an example to show. I mean, it's kind of on that Cyclops outfit where he's looking at Jean there. It's the outfit is so shiny that it's black, and that the shine is the outline and it's a color.
Yeah.
Like they did it with Magneto's outfit where it's like super dark, shiny red. And the outfit is almost entirely black, but there's like a little bit of muscle highlights, and then those are red. Or like Wolverine's shirt is like that too. I think that's really cool, and that's something that you don't see a lot outside of. Or I don't see that a lot.
Yeah, see here on the right,
Fox animation that they used to do. In
Spider-Man
and X-Men.
Very much Fox Kids, and like that style there, that vibe with the black with the colored highlights. That's a good
so I'm
point.
kind of saying basically the show wasn't necessary to me. Yeah, I mean it's not necessary, and it could be one of those things where
necessary?
you know, like it is bad, and then you could just be like, well, I don't have to watch it. You know, like you watch it and you go, and then you could just go back and watch the first 5 seasons of the original run. But it's kind of like, you know, season 5 in the original run, where they changed the animation studio. Kind of don't want to watch that either because it feels different. It feels so different.
Yeah,
it's just not right.
It seems like they're going off the Inferno storyline. Magneto's on trial, and he's trying to be a good guy, which they did do in the comics, of course.
Stat Zero saying, I wonder if they'll resurrect Spider-Man. Phil was saying, are we going to get a Spider-Man crossover in this episode like they did in the other one? And I was saying that probably not unless they're going to do a Spider-Man animated thing, like pick up.
Well, they might do it as like a pitch, you know, proof of concept thing. It's like, oh, here's what we could do with the character. We'll have them come in for one episode, and there might be a demand for that. You know, I think it could be cool. But Morph, you see him, you know, everybody's seen what he looks like through the promo stuff where he has that putty face, like the changeling face, which they did in the comics. And so he's like that sometimes, and then when they go in public, he gives himself a Morph face, but it doesn't look like Morph. It looks like Morph if he's 17. Like he makes his face look young, which is weird.
True.
And
he doesn't have his ponytail like he did when he came back evil.
Did he have a ponytail?
When he was evil.
He had that like head thing, right? That stupid purple helmet. Maybe he didn't.
Remember that.
Maybe I'm thinking about Changeling in the comics.
Jay Williams saying the art looks decent. The art looks decent in still frames. I feel like there's a pretty low frame rate. Kind of like when you watch old original Simpsons episodes and then you watch the new ones and there's like missing frames of like swooshing action. You're not getting a lot of that here. And you're not getting like that forced motion blur like they used to do in the original series.
Yeah,
that was cool. We were watching both intros side by side.
Yeah.
One interesting thing was they had 2 distinctly different intros, both episodes. You remember?
That was weird. Yeah, there was Asteroid M in the intro of episode 2, and Magneto's featured
in the intro of the episode 2.
I missed that, but yeah, Phoenix, Magneto's in it, and he's not in the first episode intro. So I don't know if that's something they're going to continue to do.
Does Morph do a Pokemon Ditto face? There is one thing about. Wow, I wonder how long my mic has been like that. About Morph, he morphs into a lot of X-Men characters to kind of fill the situation, right? Like he comes as Colossus or something, like they're falling out of the exploding jet and then he's falling.
Right.
And then Cyclops says, do something about this. And then he turns into Archangel and flies, you know, which I thought was funny because I don't know if Morph gets the powers of the person that he morphs into, but you could physically fly if you morphed into Archangel because he has the wings, which I thought was funny. The only gripe I think is kind of lacking, you know, with that situation is that it's just kind of like a pasted image of that character. Like they were fighting and Colossus walks in and I was like, Colossus is here.
Yeah.
And then he morphs into Psylocke. I'm like, oh, it's kind of lame because I think it should have been like, I was saying to Phil earlier, they could have done something as simple as Colossus or Psylocke, and then he has Morph's jacket on.
Yeah.
You know, and it would be very signifying that it's Morph as Colossus.
Yeah.
I think that would be cooler.
It's a little fan servicey in that regard. He didn't.
You're right. Morph will be a cameo machine, right? And Phil was saying as a fan service piece, you know, just like that, where it was like, oh, Colossus. And then, it's just,
it's a way for him to fight, though, because he didn't really do anything in the original series.
Well, the thing is like, does he get the powers? Because he also turns into the Blob.
That's right. I forgot about that. That was cool.
Well, does he get the attributes of the Blob, or does he just look like the Blob?
I mean, probably. Well, with Mystique, she doesn't, right?
People know
Mystique doesn't get the powers of who she takes. That's part of her mutation. It's just their how she looks.
Mimic the skill, not the powers.
Skill. That's weird.
So why the hell even turn into Colossus?
Yeah, but that stuff's cool because you're gonna definitely have a cameo machine there, and it makes him more interesting.
Yeah, he's basically useless. I was saying when we were watching the second episode, Morph doesn't even need to be in the show, really.
Yeah, they'll probably expand on him more. They're trying to push that he's buddies with Wolverine, but that really relies on you knowing the original series, and a lot of the stuff is they're putting in here kind of relies on that. So like him and Wolverine are buddy.
With him and Wolverine, he's really into Wolverine. Wolverine's really into Jean.
Yeah. And she already turned, and Morph already morphed into Jean to talk to Wolverine.
So there you go. How many times have they been together and Wolverine doesn't know?
Oh, Logan. Yeah.
It's not on Logan. It's on Morph. Morph deserves to be in jail.
We'll see how it goes. I don't know. I really enjoyed episode 2. I'm excited to see where it goes. We'll see. It's I'm liking it better than I thought I would.
Wikipedia says Morph, one of his powers is being a good prankster. That's up there with super rhyming.
Yeah. Good prankster. I mean, we've seen that.
Oh God,
he does prank people.
Says Wolverine, it's morphin' time. I hope not.
This one's for you, Morph. Yeah, I don't get the camaraderie. I wish his voice wasn't how it is now. Do whatever you want.
Like a doof too.
Yeah, his stupid face,
stupid lollipop head.
But yeah, see, this is the changeling, the helmet thing I was talking about. That's from the comics.
Looks like an idiot there too.
Yeah, it's evil Morph. Anything else on the topic of the show?
Topic of the show.
I'm liking Magneto.
I like him. I don't like his costume. I like his old costume.
Yeah. I mean, this is a costume from the comics, though, from the era.
Yeah, but I feel, in my opinion, I would have preferred if they made a transition to it. He came in with the old one, and then maybe when he gets arrested or whatever, he'd switch his costumes, or that was underneath his costume or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Costume's bad.
He had the helmet. He did have the helmet in a scene. He didn't. He wasn't wearing.
But it wasn't.
He wasn't wearing
the same one. It was a darker one, I think.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I don't think it was the red and the purple. And then the outro or the ending credits, they still do the 3D characters, like the computer with the clicking, but they don't have like the hardcore guitar music. They have like some stupid music.
Yeah, they need that guitar music. Yeah. The intro music is still good. It's a little different. It's still good though. What about Magneto? Was I going to say?
Why did I say that? Cranberry Langers? I don't know to what you are referring.
Oh, I saw this thing on Facebook where maybe it was on Twitter, but someone was like, things you forgot about the original series and you should remember going into this one. Mm-hmm. It was like a list of 4 things. One of them was Xavier's not really dead. Leandra took him into outer space with the Shi'ars to recover from like a sickness or something. So he's not really dead. I don't know if they're keeping that in continuity. They probably are. Maybe he's dead to the public or something. I'm not sure.
Well, they're all acting like he's dead.
Yeah, everyone's acting like he's dead for sure. They said Morph is reformed, but he's dealing with PTSD at the end of the original series. What was another one? Oh, Jean, Cyclops, and Wolverine are buds, and they've gotten past their like thruple animosity.
They did?
I guess so.
That's and then Morph is back.
Yeah. And then the last one was Apocalypse inhabited the body of some guy that I don't know who he was. It was like a regular person's name, and he's a threat again. So like maybe he got resurrected into someone else's body.
It's not a comment saying, I still love Wolverine's line. Her trail went cold outside the house. Got bit by a dog too.
Yeah, it's so good. Night of the Sentinels.
Yeah, and then now you get dumbass Wolverine where it's Jean's like, oh my God, Logan, he's here. Who?
Apocalypse. Yeah.
Like, what are you, retarded?
Pops his claws.
Yeah, it's like, we weren't even talking about Apocalypse.
Yeah. He's just thinking about Apocalypse. Yeah, they do the thing too, like
it was like, just to interrupt you there, it was like the dumbass dad trope from every sitcom.
Yeah.
Just like, look at how retarded the dad is here.
Oh yeah, we canned laughter after that Apocalypse line. The first time you see Wolverine pop his claws, though, it does like that electricity thing. You notice that? Like he popped his claws and electricity comes off.
Oh yeah. Well, that's from the intro. You know,
Yeah, but
and
is
the
that a
people
thing?
who are writing the show now only ever
saw the
the intro.
That makes sense. Yeah. We got the Don in the chat. What's up, the
no
Don?
strong will role models.
As long as they don't make Jubilee a vampire queen like they did in the comics, I don't remember that. I guess we'll be okay. That's weird. But yeah, I think the Goblin Queen's coming. The other thing was Bishop didn't successfully stop the assassination that was going to make his timeline happen. That was another thing that guy wanted.
Didn't successfully.
Yeah,
stop it?
yeah.
So he failed to stop.
Yeah, or maybe it didn't happen yet. Yeah, he failed to fix his timeline, but he hasn't gone back. I wonder if we'll get Forge in here in this.
Don's saying, oh no. Yeah, he says, calling it now. Jean is Madeline Pryor, and the real Jean shows up later.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing from the comics, right?
Yeah.
Jean's never actually had a kid. Maybe she did later, but
you know, if they're just pulling from the comics, it could be promising then, because there's some good storylines in the comics, right?
Yeah.
And if they're really going to source material instead of just making shit up like they do in the movies, could be good.
Yeah, that's something. I mean, that's the reason why the original X-Men show was good, because all those storylines came from the comics. Hopefully we don't get leprechauns, though, you know?
Hey, you never know.
I hope we don't.
They could get sweeps week, man.
There's no Banshee, so.
Bishop got depressed and cut off his dreads. Yeah, there's still like the storm hair. There was no transition for that.
Yeah, dude,
you know, there's stuff like
they
that.
should have totally did that.
Yeah,
they should have had,
really
and then when she gets her, because that's a classic, like, teen girl movie trope where she's like,
you
different
have
and I'm cutting my hair off.
Right. And it's a visual signal of, hey, this is a different character now, and they're going through a new situation.
Right. And that's why Claremont did it. I literally 2 days ago watched the documentary. It's called Chris Claremont's X-Men. It's all about his run, interviews with him, Anna Senti, Wheezy, and Jim Shooter and stuff. And they specifically talk about Storm and how they thought everyone working on it thought that the African goddess of weather was getting tired, like that was turning into a trope at that point and worn out. So they took her powers away and gave her the biker look.
Why, like everybody else got to keep their powers, why was the African goddess trope wearing things?
Well, it had been going on since they introduced her, and something to mix it up. But that's the specific reason, is they changed her look for that,
right? That's
to expand upon the character. So
Crane, or who asked this? Alex VRB says, wait, what do you have against leprechauns? And then I imagine that's against Phil. So Phil traded his magic beans to leprechauns because he was supposed to get gold, and then the leprechauns Welsh on him, and he never got the gold. And now he also doesn't have his magic beans. So I feel it makes a lot of sense.
It cuts deep.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
There's stuff he doesn't talk about on stream. So.
And what do they have to do with the X-Men?
Leprechauns?
Yeah. Like, are they
living
mutants?
in a universe where there's mutants?
Yeah, I know, but
and
are they
space
mutants?
People coming down from space, and the Morlocks are living under the ground, and you're worried about why there's leprechauns?
Put them in a Doctor Strange book. Oh, I heard that Doctor Strange is going to be in an episode of this show.
Doctor Strange?
Yeah, which is kind of weird.
Who cares about Doctor Strange? Doctor Strange is stupid.
Dr. Fate's cool, right?
Dr. Fate is cool.
Yeah,
Doctor Strange. I only know Doctor Strange from the movies, so
yeah, he was in a few Spider-Man episodes, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Lucky Charms. No, Lucky Charms have hidden seed oils in them, and they're just all a lie. They're not a part of a balanced breakfast, okay? Gina's Rachel? Where's Rachel? Rachel Summers. Who's that?
Rachel Summers? I don't know.
I'm not familiar with Rachel.
That's not the same Rachel that Batman asks.
Is Rachel like a newer character? Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
look her up right now. You have access to all the information mankind has to offer
Summers.
in front of you.
Oh, internet's not loading. X-Men power couple Rachel Summers and Betsy Braddock. Braddock, that's Psylocke, right? To star in new fall. Why is this page not loading?
They're gatekeeping the info from you.
Rachel Summers.
Ascani?
Rachel Summers. Here we go.
Ascani.
Ask who?
No, it's Ascani.
Rachel Summers is known as Ascani, a fictional character appearing in. She was created by Chris Claremont and John Byrne.
Graham Berlinger saying, yeah, that's Psylocke. Dystopian Days of Future Past.
She's not the baby, right? Everybody wants, right? I thought that was
magic, right?
Does she have powers? Let's see. Abilities: time manipulation, chrono shield. She's got empathy, so she's a basic woman.
She's an empath.
Yeah,
something
empath.
bad has happened to you in the past. I can feel it.
She could sense manipulated emotions, telepathy. She's just overpowered. She's telekinesis.
OP as hell.
And she was Phoenix.
You're watching the first episode, and Cyclops is OP, man. He's like traveling with his concussive blast and stuff, which actually looked cool. He does like backdashes with it.
Yeah.
Or like shoot at the ground in front of him and he'll slide backward.
Yeah, like he didn't even play that cool in Marvel vs. Capcom. That's what they wanted. But yeah, Cecil was talking about it last night on the Jack Show, and he said the same thing you did, where like this guy would have to be super trap man, where he had the neck muscles so he could soften his fall.
Falling, and he shoots the blast down that earth, and then you were like, how is he not tumbling end over end just from the blast? Yeah, because the energy transfer.
It should have been. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it looks cool.
Read some comic books. No, reading is for squares.
Yeah, I'm reading the Claremont run right now. I'm an episode issue Leprechaun. So if you want to know where I am in the run, but everyone's popping off about that move that Scott did to safely land. But they did that in X-Men Evolution already. 20 years ago.
Yeah. I don't know.
When they had Havoc versus Scott.
Reese is saying Nate is Cable, Rachel is Phoenix 2.
No, her name's Asha Rashaman.
No, Ascani.
Ascani, which is a horrible name for a character.
That's a bad name for a character.
Definitely not a Claremont name.
Cyclops is a better name.
Yeah.
They have names that are like something, right? They had a list of names right there, and her
other names
are pretty good. No, just like stuff in it. It said Havoc, Vulcan, Phoenix.
Oh yeah,
those
here
are
you go.
Cool names.
Corsair.
Corsair is cool. Cable.
Spider-Girl 3 is her sister.
Betsy Braddock, not that cool.
Cable. Yeah, that's Psylocke.
Right. Why doesn't it just say
Psyduck? Has anyone done a Psylocke amalgam fan art?
Psylocke?
Psyduck, and Psylocke.
I'm sure somebody out there is done.
We got to wrap this show up.
Yeah, we're bleeding into Bancroft's time, right?
Go watch.
Is he on tonight?
Let me see. Let me check for if Bancroft's on tonight.
Psyduck.
I think he is because he's not in the chat now.
Exercise for cheat meals?
What? Oh, we had Triple F today. Triple F, double F.
Right, yeah.
Triple F today.
Cream.
Yeah, we had ice cream today. So
Corsair is Cyclops and Havoc's father. Omega Red.
He's from the Starjammers.
Dude, Omega Red is so cool.
So good. So
cool.
good.
We were watching the original series, and Omega Red was there, and he's doing his whips and everything. Damn, Omega Red is so cool.
Omega Red's awesome. Yeah, those are comic book names. Some people don't get them.
Yeah. Ascani.
Like my girlfriend will be like, why are these names so like punny and silly? I'm like, no, those are comic book names.
Yeah.
They're cool. All right, yeah, we're gonna send you over to Bancroft's, guys. If you liked what we were saying, I would say watch X-Men. If you watch the original X-Men series, give it a shot. If you don't have Disney Plus, I'm sure you could find it out there.
There's some ways to watch it.
Yeah, so check it out. It's cool. Gambit's in it. Sometimes he looks a little weird, but I hope they do some cool stuff with Gambit. The action is cool in the show.
There's some cool action.
They're using everybody's abilities in a cool new light. I really like when Bishop absorbs energy and blasts it out again. Like,
Yeah,
that's
cool. They're doing some like stuff that you probably couldn't cheaply do in the original series because of the hand animation.
Yeah.
So like doing like weird camera rotations and stuff like that.
Sometimes they do it too much where it's like
where it's
really cinematic close-ups.
right, and it looks like 3D and it just doesn't feel right. They used a 3D asset for a vehicle.
I missed
in
that,
one
yeah.
episode. It was a
That's
van.
funny.
It's like it was a still frame of van. Just draw a van.
Yeah.
You don't need to use a 3D asset for that.
Oh, before we go, guys, if you guys are channel members and you're the high tier channel member, the Zeta Raider, we put up a new strip for the Masquerade, strip number 7, continuing the Boss Brass story arc. It's pretty cool. And you get a badass interrogation scene with the Masquerade. And we get to see where our damsel in distress is in this episode. Working on that. So if you guys are just regular basic members, maybe consider upgrading to the next one so you could see all these strips. We have 7 so far. So we're going to keep rolling on that. Shouts to Alan Alonso, killing it on those.
And you could vote in the poll which discussion was your favorite, the Drew Carey show discussion or the X-Men discussion.
Yeah, we'll have that up on Monday at the hard line.
For everybody, make sure you come back on Monday and vote in the poll.
Definitely. Well, have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. We're going to the printers on Monday with the books. Should be a good turnaround time, and we're going to start fulfilling, and then on to C2E2, which is probably a month away now. A month and a week, like 5 weeks. So go say hi to Bancroft. Have a great rest of your night. We're going to go get some pizza without Tom.
You're not doing any outros?
Oh, yeah. We should do outros. We're going without Tom. We'll catch you on the flip-flop, everybody.
All right.
See ya.
She got a great ass. And you got your head all the way up it. And after it's all said and done, you're going to be taking splinters out of your fat asses all night long because you got some fat asses. The only chance you have no chance, but you had a chance, is that you can run lickety split. Because you can't run because you got some fat asses. And after it's done, we're going to have a tailgate party for all my freaks out there in Atlanta, Georgia.
You come out here and try to get the sympathy of the people, but you don't get my sympathy at all.